Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Vijay and we are learning Python in our Python Mastery series. In the previous videos, we learned about functions, how we can create a function, initialize that thing, and then we can call the function, use it multiple time in our code. Then we jump to parameters and arguments, how we can pass the arguments and we how we can use that in a function. So now let's say we passed parameters and arguments, everything is done. We want to reuse the value that is generated by a function. Let's say function performs addition operation. So whatever the value is generated with the help of that addition, the output we want to, rather than printing, we want to send it back to the user. So user can reuse it in some other functions or in the later part of the code wherever they want, and they can store it in a variable as a returning of the function. So we can uh, achieve this functionality with the help of return keyword. The return, we have seen the glimpse in the initial video of the functions, but in this video we will be going in more depth of that. And coming to our code cafe example, what we can do, let's say we created a function to generate the bill, and according to the item, price, quantity, we provided that values to the function, and generate bill function generated a value. Now we want to use that value in some other functions, let's say calculating discounts or printing the final bill in a more formatized way, all of that. So for that, we can use the return keyword. So function will return and user can store it in a variable, and later if they want they can use it and also provide to some other functions for further usage. Okay, so we will be seeing this part in this video. So now let's understand the theory part first, what we are going to do on the blackboard. So what we will do, let's say we want to have a calculate bill function. Okay, so this function, if we are using, let me keep it little center. Okay, now let's say I am performing some calculation under this one. Okay, and let me have an arrow to denote the flow. Okay, so in the calculate function we are performing, calculate bill function, we are performing some calculations, and then whatever the final output will be, okay, that we are returning a total. So that total can be further utilized by the user. They can use it as we discussed for the discount calculation or anything like that. Okay, and then mm, what else will be when we return it? So as of now we can, oops, okay, so this arrow, and user can use it for what we can say, storing, store in variable. Okay, so in this way they can store, and after storing they can either print or reuse this variable. Okay, so this will be our flow, that we will be using the return keyword so that the value can be passed, returned back to the user, and they can store and they can reuse that further. Okay, so let's start with a simple example on the VS code so we can understand the implementation in a much better way. Okay, so starting with, let's say I am creating a function for calculating the squares. So define square, and we can pass a number here for which we need to do the square, and simple, the square will be number multiplied by itself. Okay, so square, let's say I want to do the square of 2, but this time as written is there, so that will be returned to us, and we can store that in a variable. Let's say we are storing in a variable output. Okay, so what we will do, we will calculate the square, whatever the application this function will do, calculation this function will do, it will return us. This return keyword helps us to return that output, and that we are storing in a output variable. Then further we can use that. As of now we are using it for printing that. Okay, select the kernel. Why it didn't have that? Let me run it again. It is still going on. I'm not sure if there is an issue with the kernel. It seems like the issue is with the kernel. Let me restart it once. Okay, now let me try first a hello world to validate a setup. Any day, if you feel that the execution is stuck or something like that, always first validate. Okay, the kernel is working fine now. Okay, you can see the issue was with the kernel. The output 4 is printed now. Now let's say in similar way I want to have a add function created, a comma b. Okay, and what I will be doing, return a plus b, simple, and the total we will be calculating with a plus b. Oh sorry, add a, that will be 2 comma 3. Let's say we want to do a summation of 2 and 3, and then we can print the total. Okay, so what we are doing here in this function, very simple, taking two numbers via function, then adding those two numbers, and as we are using a function, this will give us a dynamic power. Whatever we will pass, that will be addition. Okay, so here 5 we are getting as an addition. Now let's understand the difference between print and return. Although we have print, then what is the purpose of return? So before we jump to that topic, let me give you a small theory part on that. So we just saw the implementation, how return is the implemented and everything like that. So we will be going with the difference for return and print. So regarding return, there are few things. So return sends a value. Sorry guys, I mistakenly jumped onto the another window. Okay, return. Okay, and whenever we have a return here in the function execution stops. Anything I write after this, it won't be executed after the return statement, because return will end or terminate the execution of the function. So function stops execution after return. Okay, then it will be returned value can be stored and reused. So these are the things that make return different from the print. So whenever let's say here itself in this addition or square function, if I print that number, definitely you will see the output similar, but we cannot have that stored in a variable output and later we can use that variable for some other purpose. That won't be possible with the print. Okay, so let's execution wise see what is the difference. So let me create a function demo, oops, demo, and we will print hello in that. Okay, and then we will call the demo function. So here you can see it called and it printed the hello. Now we will perform the same thing with the help of return statement. So what we will do, we will do a demo and then return hello. Okay, then mm, just a second, I need to have that consistency, and then um, message equal to demo calling of the function, then we can print that message. Okay, so here we are not, here we are printing the value from the function itself. Here we are not printing the value, rather we are storing the value in a variable, and that storing allows us to reuse the value multiple times or in any other function also. Print won't give us that leverage, and in production we never do a single print statement. In production always there we do a return, because in production systems we don't have the console or we don't have the terminals to display our outputs. We return the output, and that output is processed, whatever is needed accordingly, that is processed. Okay, so that is how we are using. Now coming to our code cafe theme, what we can do, let's say we want to calculate a bill. So bill, we will have the price, quantity. Okay, then we can do a return price into quantity. Okay, so the bill will be calculated. Let's say somebody purchased uh like two coffees of 100 rupees each, then that will be 200. In this way the function will perform its calculation. Then we can have a total is equal to bill, and then we can pass any values. Let's say price is 100 comma 2, the same thing, and we can print with the f string total bill will be total. Okay, so here you can see the bill is 200 now. Okay, let's say I want to return a customer name also, that can be used for anything, let's say welcome message or anything. We were using the print statement, but here the customer name we will try to implement that part also. So customer, I'm giving you like multiple examples. So logically, when you understand the concept, you also understand how to implement that thing, connecting with the real life examples. It's not that you learned the syntax and you learned the concept theory and then you don't know where to implement it. So these examples will give you more logical thinking, where the implementation can be done, which are the scenarios that this concept is useful or the other concept will be more effective to use. That idea you will get with the examples only. That's why we are doing a mini project also in every videos. Okay, and now name equal to customer, and let's say I am passing customer name. Okay, and okay, let's say I stored the customer name itself and then I am returning, and then we can have print. Here I can customer and then name. Okay, or what we can do, we can also have a welcome actually, that will be more effective. Okay, welcome. Okay, so you can see now here whenever Vijay arrives, we can have that welcome message for him. Okay, so I guess you understood the concept behind return, why we are using what is written versus print. Now coming to our mini project for this video. Oops, not this one. If I have that here, so mini project for our code cafe. Okay, what we can do, we can have a smart billing calculator that we can develop. Okay, so what we will start with, we will accept the customer details. Then what we will do, we will calculate the total bills, and after that we will return the bill amount. Then we will apply some discount on top of that. Whatever the total we are getting, as discussed earlier, that total we will not print directly. We will return that in and store that in a variable, and then that variable we will use further to apply the discounts. And finally, whatever the after discount bill amount will be, that we will try to display. Okay, so this will cover our concept related to return. Okay, so let's start with that. First we will start with defining the um, rather than this, we can have a calculate bill variable function, and that will accept the price and quantity. We already wrote that function earlier, just to uh, make it integrated in the mini project. Quantity. Okay, you can do one more thing just to show you that if the calculations are little bit lengthy or something, like there are more than one line of calculation, so you can use this method also. This is also a way of implementation, and this is more cleaner. Okay, so you can return total. So in case in future if there is any change to the logic, let's say you want to add a GST over here in the total itself, so you just have to edit this portion, not the return statement again and again. So this will give you a little bit flexibility whenever in future implementation any logic change is there in the initial calculation. Then we will take the details input. We will ask for enter customer name. Then we will have what else, we will have the item. Yeah, input, that will also be, and we can ask to enter the item. Then we will ask for the price input, enter price, and then we need to typecast also, because this will be in the string format whenever we take input from the input method. And then quantity, quantity. Okay, this also we need to typecast after taking the input. Okay, enter quantity. Okay, so we have taken all the inputs. Now what we can do, Hmm, we can call the calculate bill function to have the bill calculated, and then we can store the value in the bill variable, so that whatever is returned here, the total, whatever total will be written, that will be stored. Okay, okay, till this point we are all set. Next will be, hmm, let's say we want to calculate a 10% discount for a bill price more than 1000. Let's say keep that condition as of now, if bill is greater than 1000. Okay, so what we want to do, final bill is equal to bill into 0.10. Okay, so we can keep this as the condition, and it won't calculate actually the final bill, it will calculate the discount. Okay, and then what we can do, we can have a final bill equal to bill minus discount. Okay, so here the total will be collected, then we are subtracting the discount. Also, let's define the discount. Initial value will be 0, so in case if there is no discount, the bill will remain as it is without any changes. Okay, I guess we have done all the calculation part. Now we can move to the printing. Okay, let's print the slash and bill summary, and you can print. The first thing is customer name that we will pull from customer. Then we will print the item that will be pulled from item variable. Then we will print these things we have done multiple times. So even if you are doing any other project, this will help you to arrange the flow, how that should be in related to the project versus a simple practice. This will give you an idea that how to set up the things and how to make it more presentable. Okay, then we will have the bill that will be pulled from bill variable, and then we will print a, what else we can print. Discount, I can see that also we can print the discount that we can print. Then let's multiply it by 100, so it should look a proper discount percent. Okay, then we can print, what else we can print is the final bill with final bill variable. Okay, this we are going to print, and then finally our thank you message as usual. Thank you for the visit. Okay, so let's check the flow, starting with a calculate bill function, taking quantity price, then making quantity into price to calculate the total, and not printing the total but returning is, and input we are taking as customer name, item, price, quantity, all of that things, then calculate the bill based on price and quantity, and if there is a more than 1000 bill, providing a 10% discount, and then calculating the final bill and printing the summary of that, and a final thank you message. Okay, let's say the customer name is Vijay, item name is pizza, and the price is, let's say, 300 rupees. Quantity I am keeping as of now 2, so here you can see 600 because I have two quantities, and discount 0% because the bill is amount is less than 1000, and final bill is 600. If I keep a bill amount of more than 1000, let's try that. Pizza, then we will have a pasta, let's say 400, uh, maybe a little bit expensive also for pasta, and quantity I am keeping 4. Okay, so 1600, and the discount is calculated a little bit wrong. The amount is correct, but it is calculated a little bit wrong. Let me check that. So what should be there? This 100 multiplication by 100 is making it wrong. So now let's calculate this widget. Same thing, we will enter pasta. Then we will have price of 400, quantity of 4. Okay, 160 discount we are getting. Okay, so I guess everything looks good now, and we have the correct thing. Okay, let me just check if there is anything that we missed out. Okay, this is actually not the percentage, that's why we are getting confused. This is actually the amount that we are calculating. Vijay and pasta, let me keep a 1000, and quantity is 1. Okay, okay, exactly 1000, no discount. Now we will make it Vijay pasta, price we are keeping as, let's say, 2000. Okay, and quantity is 1. So here you can see 200 rupees discount. These are actually rupees, not my bad. This is not percentage, this is rupees. Okay, so the program is running perfectly fine now. And let's jump to the, okay guys, so till now what we have did, we studied all the things whatever was related to the return statement, and I hope this video will be useful to you. In case if you have any questions, please feel free to comment, and I hope you are liking this series. Please like, share and subscribe. We will see you in next video. Till then, happy coding.